Zac Posen is fashion's boy wonder who grew up. It's hard to believe that he's only just 30, and it seems as though he's been designing forever, actually 8 years. He came onto the scene as a wave of young designers started to raise interest in New York just at the turn of the millennium. But he had the sense to see that you can't exist forever on being a young, quote-unquote, designer. You've got to be something more. What he tried to do was to analyse his own thoughts and realise that what he loved was couture, using his own hands, learning the techniques. So this is a moment when Zac Posen is coming to prove himself in Paris. So Zac Posen, this is another great adventure coming to show in Paris. Tell us about that.
Well, I've always dreamt to show in Paris. It was time to make a really strong message and to have a dialogue with what I'm obsessed with in my process of making clothing, which is craft and technique, and keeping that alive today in our industry and for the customer and for the woman. I'm just excited to be able to have a new context to present my work in, and it's enabled me to have a whole different kind of focus to the message of my collection. So that's just very thrilling.
You showed in New York a new second line called Z Spoke. Are you trying to differentiate that from the more couture work that you're bringing to Paris?
Of course, yeah. No, we wanted to build distinctions between two sides of who I was. I wanted to protect my craft and be able to make things with technique, and then I wanted to be able to have a street discussion in New York.
Zac, it's hard to believe that you've only just turned 30. Has it been a hard and long learning curve?
Huge, in every possible way. When I started, I was very, very naive, and it was pure expression, and that's really wonderful. And then you get sort of swept into the world of fashion, and you get swept into the world of retail. Being sort of a starting young designer in New York to open the doors for lots of other designers, has been challenging. I think I was always the first to get really punched or hit, but it made me very strong, and it made me very focused on business at first. I had to learn American business.
You started to design for your downtown friends, but there was a moment when you had to put your feet on the ground and build a business.
I think that I'm more of an artist now than the pure creation in the beginning. I'm definitely more confident in my hand and in my work. I think that sometimes with the work in the past, with my great obsession with the history of fashion or with techniques, it can go historical. And here I wanted to find that balance where even if it does go into historical referencing, it feels very appropriate and right about the moment. In terms of coming here, it's so important for people to take risks. That's how you grow, and I wouldn't do what I do if I wasn't going to take these risks.